Hey everyone, my name's Pupsker, and I thought today I should do kind of like a basic beginner's guide. I'm going to try to go over a lot of the basic concepts in the game, just talk about the generals, general new player advice, what you should generally be doing. Yeah, I use that word a lot. So, if you like it, subscribe. If not, oh well. Overall in Warframe, when you're a beginner, you don't have this entire star chart mapped out, and I believe you start on Earth. So a couple things to know about the star chart. The junctions here are kind of one of those mandatory do all of them type things. So finish all of the junctions whenever you have time. You don't necessarily have to do it, but it's definitely unlocking a lot of content. So I'd do it sooner rather than later. Another basic piece of advice is kill bosses. These are what assassination nodes look like, that little eye with the horn, crown, whatever you want to call it. So the reason you want to kill a lot of bosses is because bosses on the star chart, all of them, if not most of them, have a Warframe drop. So every boss drops the components to build a Warframe essentially. Not necessarily every boss, but most if not all of the bosses on the star chart. So if you want to start collecting Warframes, start farming bosses one by one. First one's obviously Oro on Earth if you have Earth unlocked, but it's a little higher level, but that shouldn't really matter if you get in a group. From there, you can go wherever you want. You know, War over here. That one's a little easier, so hey, maybe you want to do that one first. When you're starting the game, you really only have Earth unlocked, so I wouldn't take Warframe too seriously. Honestly, just play around, take a look at the game, and try to have a fun time. Because your first general goal should just be honestly exploring and completing the star chart while completing bosses, the junctions, and slowly doing all of the quests. Warframe is one of those games where you can do almost anything or almost nothing. It gives you a lot, and by a lot, I mean a lot of choice on what you want to do. Deimos, Earth, and I believe Venus? Yeah. Deimos, Earth, and Venus have open world areas, and that would be Plains of Eidolon and Cetus. Plains of Eidolon would be the open world area, while Cetus is kind of like the main hub where you join in, and then you can talk to people, check out the shops, things like that. All three of these open worlds are currently the only ones that exist. You know, Necrolisk is the hub, while the Cambion Drift is the open world. And on Venus, Fortuna is the player hub, and Orb Valis is the open world. Fun fact, you don't really have to do open worlds for the most part if it isn't your type of thing. A lot of content isn't locked behind open world stuff, but naturally a lot of content on the open world is locked behind open world stuff. So if you don't necessarily care to do that, you don't really have to, but I would recommend at least checking out, playing some of the bounties, and actually seeing if you like the open worlds, as they do unlock a lot of good content that people like to play. It's in general pretty fun, and you'll just get more weapons and Warframes, so yeah. Up here you have your name, your mastery rank, so I would recommend leveling up your mastery rank slowly while you're completing the star chart. The idea is this is your overall, I guess, account / game level, call it whatever you will, it's your mastery rank. And this does unlock things, but past the point of I think around 16 or 18 mastery rank, most of the unlocks are just pretty much limit increases for things like daily standing, daily this, daily that, loot, loadout. So if you continue to increase it, you'll pretty much just get some bonuses, with a huge bonus at MR30. But yeah, that's not something you really have to worry about anytime soon. And here we have the overlay of the events, all of the alerts, weekly stuff, Kuva siphons. This is all pretty much stuff you might unlock later on throughout playing the game. Obviously, I'm not going to go on every aspect of the game because I don't have time to make a 24-hour long video. Invasions are simply missions you run. You either support one side or the other, and once you do all three of them, you will get the battle pay offer in the mail at the day's end, or once the invasion's done, whichever really happens, right? Here we have syndicates. These are essentially just factions. I'm a part of the Cephalon's faction, so that's my main missions. Cephalon's here, Arbiter's here, and then Terran Sequence here, I think. But you'll eventually unlock Sanctuary Onslaught and Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, but that's a later on in the game type of thing, so not a lot to worry about here. Void Fissures are right here. You'll pretty early on unlock this. I believe you get Voids unlocked from doing the Mars Junction and completing the Void Relic segment. I think it's reward 3 out of 8, and there we go. God, I'm so good at this sometimes. Other times, I'm a mess. And then these are sorties. It's also like an end game daily mission. You do 1, 2, 3, and then you get these sort of rewards. Again, these are all just small things that you'll probably realize when playing the game, but thought I might as well talk about it. Railjack, you'll unlock this eventually if you choose to, and you do need to be in a clan. It's essentially just, you're a ship, you're going around fighting and shooting people. And as you can see, I'm not done everything anyways, just because I can't be bothered, but there are a ton of missions you can run here, and a lot of people do like Railjack, but I'm currently focusing on other things, so it's not my big thing. And last but not least, we have Resource Drones and Nightwave. Resource Drones, simply you can build them in the Foundry, you can throw them on a planet, and they will extract resources. And then you just 3 extractors ready. You have to kind of zoom out, because if you're in the planet view, it tries to deploy them. So you just extractors ready, and you'll get some loot. This is a passive way to gain resources. As your mastery rank goes up, the more you can deploy will go up. I believe I can only deploy 3, and I think it maxes out at like 4, maybe 5, but don't quote me on that because I don't really know. I'm pretty lazy about it. I just simply throw them on the planet and then call it a day. Because realistically, it doesn't really matter. I have plenty resources. You can collect them every 8 hours, but if you're like me, yeah, that's not happening. You're going to be collecting it every day or 2 or like every week, but it's up to you, right? Glassmaker is essentially, or Nightwave I should say, this is Warframe's version of a battle pass system. So just like daily quests and such to get stuff done, you unlock a ton of resources. There's no paid battle pass, so nothing there to worry about. Just do these missions, unlock this free stuff. If you continue on, you'll get credits, and it has a shop, it has a storyline through here. Feel free to follow along if you want. I'm not a huge person myself that follows along with any of the Nightwaves, but I know a lot of people do like them, so hey, if you like it, oh crap, I wanted to get this. Oh well. Yeah, if you like it, check it out. If not, you'll probably get some Nightwave stuff just by playing the game passively anyways. Okay, so that's mainly on the Starchart. Yeah, this is going to be a long video, so let's keep going. Here you have your standing. Master rank affects daily standing cap. So as you can see, my daily standing cap is 25,000. I think these are all shared. Like these ones here are shared. These ones are separated because you can see they have separate daily standing caps. These are all separated like that. Yeah, there are a ton of factions. Each one of the open worlds should have one. So Necrolisk, this is the Deimos one. Fortuna, this is the Venus one. Hopefully I got that name right. Cetus, this is the Earth one. So yeah, and then this is the standings for, I guess I'd call it PvP and for Samaris. These are essentially just the standings that you can find in any one of the relays, but Conclave is in your ship, whereas Cephalon Samaris has to be started in a relay. Yeah, I know there's a lot of things I'm going to be talking about, and you might not get it all, and that's fine. This game is a mess with a literal ton of information to know, so I would always recommend searching things up, going to the Warframe wiki, checking out YouTuber videos, because goddamn, there are a lot of YouTuber videos with a lot of guides, because trust me, I make some myself, I get it. This is where you can enter Conclave. It's PvP, very underplayed because people very much dislike it. That's all I really have to say about that. And this is the community news page. You can get the idea, right? Has news, links to any of the updates, community stuff, etc. So that's most of the front of the ship, but now we have the market. A lot of players, when they're new to the game, get trapped in Warframe from what I would like to call a noob trap. Almost everything in Warframe can be purchased without platinum, as long as it's an item in game that can be used for gameplay. Things like cosmetics and things like that and to speed ups, those usually cost platinum, but they are 0% necessary to actually play the game and obtain a ton of weapons. For example, the Proboscis Cernos, as you can see, it sells it for 245 platinum right here. But if you click onto it, you can purchase the blueprint for it, and then you can go build it in the Foundry yourself. That is the case for many Warframes, weapons, and equipment in the market. So, for example, I want to get a Warframe. I want to get Trinity, right? Let's say, hey, Trinity? Okay, spelling's hard. Oh, I want Trinity. Oh, I can't get Trinity here. I have the blueprint and she costs 225 platinum. Oh wait, click on Trinity, buy the blueprint here, and then find out where to buy the Trinity Neuroptics, chassis, and systems. Or sorry, where to farm them. So a lot of things in the market, Warframes and weapons especially, and some equipment, you do not need to purchase with platinum. If you ever want to purchase something, click on it and see if there is a blueprint. Most things do have a blueprint, and most things you can filter for hide owned, hide mastered, or hide items without blueprint. This is probably going to be your favorite one. Most people should just have this checked off 24/7, but yeah, there's a lot of things you can purchase in the market, and it will require a lot of credits in order for you to get them. But that'll take time, you should not rush it, and honestly, yeah, who cares? This is a game about your own speeds and just having fun, so yeah, don't take it too seriously, guys. Just try to have some fun. So that's the generals of the market. It's a mess, but yeah, in my opinion, Warframe has done the worst part, in my opinion, again, of actually making a good and usable market interface. I kind of think, since everything says the cost in platinum first, I just think it's a pretty garbage UI and terrible for new players overall, as it can very much confuse people and think that the game is heavily pay to win. Also, just as general advice, if you're a new player, I wouldn't recommend buying anything with platinum other than equipment and Warframe slots, as slots for Warframes need to be purchased and can be acquired occasionally from events and Nightwave and things like that. Same with weapons. You'll have to buy weapon slots, as you can see I have 0, with platinum, if you want to hold a huge inventory of weapons like myself. So you can trade for platinum, that stuff here, you can trade for it, so it's not a huge issue. If you want a full trading video, search up my channel or someone else's, as I do have a guide and probably other people do as well, but you'll definitely want to spend starting platinum on weapon slots and Warframe slots, if you at least want to carry more weapons and or Warframes without having to delete previous ones to get a higher mastery rank. Because that's one of the biggest issues for new players, is you'll A, have to spend your starting platinum on either Warframe or weapon slots, and B, you'll have to get used to selling weapons in order to create more weapons to get a higher mastery rank. How you go about that is all on you, because naturally, play the game however you want to play. This is useless because it just pops up Nightwave, so if you want to enter the Nightwave map here, go for it. Doesn't really matter. This is the codex. Here you can see quests, universe, Levirian, training, and missions. Essentially, if you want any info, go here. It's not as good as the Warframe wiki. Essentially, the only useful stuff, I would say, is the quest, because it can tell you how to actually pick up the quests, and some of the relics and arcanes, as it can tell you where to farm them. See, arbitrations, you can farm them here. So the codex is pretty much going to be underused, but you are going to use it for quests most likely, and maybe occasionally to search up relics, but as for Warframes and such, it's pretty useless. It gives you all the basic info you can find through the market or anywhere else, so it's not stuff you would be looking for. But yeah, use the Warframe wiki. It's very good. People like it for a reason, and people use it for a reason. So now once we get to the Foundry, never spend platinum to rush things. Massive waste of platinum unless you're rich, in my opinion, and most other people's opinion. You can either wait for the things to build, or you can rush them. Yeah, just wait, okay? You're not really losing anything by waiting a day for a weapon to build or 3 days for a Warframe to build, other than time. And honestly, if you're so addicted that you have to spend plat to rush things, I hope you can afford that, because I would not recommend it. The Foundry, it's basic. There's, I believe, a Warframe app that you can also interact with the Foundry and possibly with excavators, so you don't always have to be at your computer if you want to build things, so it's kind of nice and convenient like that. I myself don't use it. I hear it's kind of buggy, but I won't be able to say because, again, I don't use that stuff, so yeah. The Foundry's simple. Just build stuff. It tells you the resources. It tells you if it's mastered, but it does have a lot of filters that it's just lacking, so the Foundry kind of sucks in that regard, but you can also search, so if you're looking for something individually, go for it. If you're trying to find and build things that aren't already mastered and you have a ton of blueprints like myself, you might cry a little bit because you can't sort easily, but hey, Warframe, am I right? And here you can also check out your arcanes, upgrade them. Yeah, don't worry about it. I have like no arcanes, and you can check these components again if you're really curious. I don't think there's a search for this one, so you're probably never going to be in this menu anyways, so it's pretty whatever. This right here is for mods. Mods are fairly simple. You collect endo to upgrade the mods, and it'll also require credits. Fairly simple. These are bronze mods. These are like the basic mods. I'd say these are the uncommon mods, the silver ones. And then gold ones are rare mods, and then things like Rivens, these are their own thing. It has its own capacity. You'll have to purchase more from the shop. And there are also legendary mods. I think those are mods that are considered to have either 10 upgrades or just be the best of the rare mods, things like that, and like prime mods. So there are a lot of mods in the game. Most players, you will want to, once you've played for a while, you want to sell a lot of these mods for endo, because that's a useful thing. So a lot of players like myself, they'll do that. They'll do this to a ton of these mods and then dissolve them into endo. I would not recommend selling them for credit, as depending on how far you are along the game, it is much easier and faster to gain millions of credits, as you can see right here, than to find, farm, and create a ton of endo. But it's up to me, it's up to you, it's however you want to do. You can also transmute, which combines 4 unranked mods for a chance at a rare mod. I would only ever transmute rare mods, such as Tether Grenade, Medi Pet Kit, if you have a ton of those, because they will give you the highest chance at getting another rare mod, which most likely will be the mods you don't have. So if you have a ton of credits, this is decent, and by ton I mean millions, but you're probably not going to want to use it too early on into the game until you get a proper credit farming method. Fusion is pretty similar, or self-explanatory I should say. You simply click on the mod you want, fuse it, up, and it'll tell you the cost for endo and credits, right? Fairly simple, fairly easy, not really a big issue there. Last part about this area is the Ayatin treasures. Ayatin treasures are used to sell, create, etc. endo. You visit Maru and hand them into Maru for endo. These cyan Ayatin stars you will pick up just playing the game through like crates and lockers, and you'll get sculptures, sorry I have none at this time, either through running arbitrations, picking them up on maps, most likely arbitrations, doing Maru's daily, and a ton of other ways. I'll make a video on how to get them all one day, but that's for another time. Here is your incubator. You'll eventually quickly early on unlock this. It is where it holds Kubros, Kavots, and most of your organic type companion animals. You can pet them, which is very important because they do more damage. So as you can see, if I give my Helminth pup a scritch, it lags and glitches out and we're done apparently. Okay, cool. Well, that was not fun. And this is useless. This is just a visual to show your current companion that is non-biological, essentially. This is your Void Relics segment. You will unlock this early on in the game. It will hold all of your Void Relics, simple, your Requiem Relics later, even later on in the game, and you can upgrade things running Void Traces while also collecting Void Traces during Relic runs. There is a Void Trace limit dependent on your mastery rank, so if you're a lower mastery rank, remember to refine more often, and if you're a higher mastery rank, you're probably good, so you already know what's up. So that's just that, it's simple. You can search for anything. If it's vaulted, it won't show up. If it's unvaulted, it will, and if it's available to farm, it will show up. Unless you have your own, then it'll show up as well. Yeah, that was a mess of an explanation, but so sorry. Now, this is your arsenal. This is where you can mess with everything. Layouts, you can have different layouts. These are all old dog shit layouts, so ignore them. You can equip different Warframes, upgrade the mods on them, change their appearances, check out their abilities, and that goes for weapons, companions, gear. Hit Q on keyboard to bring it up mid-mission, but you probably won't need to do that for a while. And this is, oh god, all of this stuff you're seeing here, you'll eventually unlock and then eventually upgrade it. I'm just gonna go over some basic modding tips, right? Basic modding tips. You want some survivability, especially early on to the game. So try to equip things like fiber, vitality, steel fiber, vitality, and if you want shield, you can equip things like redirection, but armor, I believe, only reduces damage to health, so people tend to not do that. Plus, there's a huge meta right now around shield capacity and shield gating. Sorry, just shield gating, so yeah. My generals for modding a Warframe are throw steel fiber on, throw vitality on, and throw redirection on if you want shield. Other than that, just build them for how you want to play them. I tend to throw steel charge on a lot of my Warframes because I just play a lot of melee and I kill a lot of things with melee. Honestly, each Warframe is a little different. That's why modding advice is always hard. Just try to find what works for you. The more mods you unlock, the more choice and the better builds you'll have. So early on, your builds are going to be trash, and that's expected. Later on, they can be as good as you want or as bad as you want, and it really doesn't matter. Same with the weapons. The general idea, I'm going to equip an actually modded weapon just to show you, I guess, how you actually want to build them. So this is my Prisma Gricata, my best weapon in the game. I'm the type that builds for a little bit of everything. If a weapon generally has much higher crit chance than the status chance, most likely it'll be a crit weapon and you'll want to build more for the crit. I, again, like to build just basic as hell. I throw some status on, multi-shot's good, that's essentially just damage multiplier, right? Crit chance, yeah, definitely good. More status and status chance, or I guess I should say elemental damage. Elements do go together. I think gas is considered one of the weaker ones, but people get mad at me when I have it on, so I always have it on. So the idea is, throw some damage on it, throw more status if you want more status, throw more crit stuff if you want more crit stuff, and usually you will want at least multi-shot. At least one type of mod that gives you multi-shot, I should say, but hey, no build is perfect. This one does a good amount of damage, but it's not perfect, so. And that's generally how you build everything. Same with your companion, same with the companion's weapon. Mod it, build it how you would want the playstyle to be for survivability. Just do whatever you want, man. So I want to say that's the basics of Warframe. I would go to these parts of the ship, but these are kind of unlocked later, so I don't want to go over them. And I don't want to give any spoilers out, so you'll unlock that eventually. You'll unlock that eventually. And this is just kind of your setup area. You'll hang out there eventually, so check it out if you have time. If you hit escape, you can go through all of the menus in Warframe. There's a lot of them, but the most important one is this one because it has all of the important operator stuff, and Orbiter, you can decorate pretty much everything. So check out the menus and just check out the game. It is a huge game, guys, with a lot of things in it. So if there's things you don't get here and there, don't worry about it. We've all been through there. This game's confusing, it's long, and it's a mess of a ton of different systems. So don't feel too bad. Join a clan as soon as you possibly can because they're very important to unlocking items, getting help, and just asking questions. And we always have QA chat here, the Warframe wiki, the Warframe Discord, so there's a lot of resources to learn from if needed. Thank you guys for watching. This video is definitely my longest one for a while, so if you're here to the end, thank you. Let me know by commenting 123 and then your real comment. If not, that's fine, I don't really care. Thank you guys for being here. Sub if you liked it, like if you liked it, and of course dislike if you dislike it. You can follow me on Twitter and TikTok where I literally only post just general daily life stuff. YouTube is naturally my more serious platform where I'll mainly just post Warframe videos and streams. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.